Hi, and welcome to the class of 2022. I'm your host, Neil McHale. Our guest today is Madison Beucler. Madison, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Madison, so can you believe that commencement is just a matter of weeks away?
No, it's hard because my first year here was fully online, and now I've only had a year on campus, so it went very fast, and I'm a little scared, but I'm ready.
So on top of being just an outstanding student here at Ocean County College, you're also someone who's really active in clubs and some of the campus activities that we did here. Can you speak about some of the things that you were involved in while you're here?
Sure, yeah. I'm an officer of the Environmental Club, and I'm also the president of the Math Club, and I'm also in PTK and NJ Stars. So I try to get involved as much as I can.
So that's great, but how exactly did you find yourself in some of those clubs?
A lot of my professors were looking for officers because the clubs hadn't run when they were all remote, and I was just one of the students they had, and they reached out, and I was very excited, and I took on the role, and I'm having fun with it, and I'm very happy I did.
And you mentioned a little bit at both questions I've asked so far about remote. It's such a change from doing everything online to being back on campus now. I'm just wondering, how much has that made your experience better, is that you got to experience this whole year of being here in person? It
was so much better. Having your first year of college online is definitely not ideal. It did build up a lot of anxiety, and I think that stands true for a lot of students, but going in person was very nice, and it's a nice little halfway point between being remote and going to a four-year university. So it was I liked it a lot. Yeah. Much better.
So, and what would you say to any incoming or prospective student, or even some students that are here right now that might be on the fence about getting involved in clubs or activities? What would you say to them?
I would say definitely get involved. At community schools, it's a bit harder to meet new people because you're really only here for class. And I've made a lot of friends by joining clubs, and I think it's a lot easier to get through the school year if you have friends on campus. And joining the clubs and going to student life activities is definitely a really good way of making friends.
Well, that's a great message, and we certainly encourage all of our students to get involved in student activities and clubs through the Office of Student Life. So where do you plan on pursuing it? What's next for Madison, I guess I'll ask, and where you're transferring to and what are you going to study?
Sure. I'm transferring to Rider University in the fall, and I am going to be majoring in environmental sciences and minoring in marine sciences and potentially grad school in the future, but I'm just sticking to the next 2 years for now, and I'll get my bachelor's in science.
One step at a time, right?
Yes.
Madison, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thanks to everyone for tuning in to this episode of the Class of 2022, and we'll see all of our graduates at the commencement ceremony on Thursday, May 26th at 6 p.m.